Welcome back, fellow dragons. Really? She starts barking the second I record? It's fine. She barks at nothing all the fucking time. I can't get her to stop. Oh, hello, kitty. I assume the kitty wants the lap, doesn't he? Why is your chin wet again? Get over here. Oh, I need to brush you later. Okay, sorry. Animal distractions all around, fellow dragons. If I were confident enough to use face cam, you would be able to see the kitty on my lap. Ah! Hey! No. Okay. Do not press a button again. Yes, rub your face on my finger, not the controller, please. I will give you cheek rubbies. Just leave the controller alone. He loves rubbing his face on my tech. He wants to make it his too. It's like, oh, this is covered in your hand sweat? Let's put my face juice on it. Because kitties have scent glands on their face. Yes, they do. Okay, feline is being a distraction. I am so sorry. Simmer, say hello. Meow. No? I don't think y'all can hear him purring. You can probably hear either the computer or the Switch's fan, but not the kitty's purring. I will be surprised if you could hear that. Alright. Few days after kidnapping the woman. See, remember guys, Stockholm Syndrome route. That is what this route is. A few days after kidnapping the woman, she recovered and together we headed to the battlefield. I thought it was wise to show her beforehand what a war zone truly looked like. She'd been eating and seemed healthier, but the woman remained ever vigilant, like a wounded beast. In fact, it was as though she was becoming more and more cautious by the day. She set up a barrier with a 3-foot radius, and my voice alone would leave her unusually frightened. To start, her expression would stiffen the moment I entered the room. She was like some kind of small mammal. Not a hamster. Hamsters are actually cute. In fact, most mice are also cute. What's an ugly small mammal? Gonna have to skip most of the rodent world for that. Hairless cat. Hairless cats are not that cute. Every now and then she would say things that didn't make sense. She even muttered that I was a sadist once. What makes me a sadist? Sure, I pointed a gun at her, but she could easily handle that with her barriers. What did she have to fear from me? Could it have been that? Yeah, that was definitely the wrong move. I was only doing what she'd asked. She was the one who told me to feed her mouth to mouth. Her words are so contradictory. I just could not figure that woman out. Natsuhiko, dude. There are several things going on there. But, part of it is because you use, while your intentions are ultimately good, your methods are super fucked up, man. Well, we are enemies. I won't ask you to relax around me, but you and I, we have the same goal. Can't you see? Soon enough, I removed her handcuffs, too. I also stopped going by the lab as much in order to give her plenty of time alone. I already told her that I wouldn't do anything to her as long as she was cooperative. Yeah, there's the qualifier there that's the problem. Dude, this is the Stockholm Syndrome route, man. I hate to break it to you, but your route is that. There are worse routes in the game. The bad ending for the Heishi route? Oh boy. No, that is... Ugh. That codependent nightmare is worse. But still. Oh, and then any ending in the wrong route. Ugh. There's a reason we don't touch those. Ugh. But still. You gotta understand, man. You are fucked up. You need therapy just as much as everybody on the Norn. Natsuhiko, what'd you do to little Miss Princess in there? Nothing. Yeah, right. She's more terrified than a cornered rabbit. She had those barriers of hers up non-stop. Keeping those barriers up is gonna tire her out, right? And she's looking pretty beat. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to read that, but ugh. I guess technically what Setsu's perversion is harmless to everyone but him. In theory. His actions don't quite match that, though. Hey, Miss Princess. I wouldn't do anything to a lady would have to worry about, honest. I'm completely harmless. You are very much not harmless, Setsu. You will actively do things to make women hate you and want to call you names, and you will cross lines. You're willing to cross lines for the sake of your perversion to get people to get women to insult you, at minimum. You are not harmless. You are not to speak to her unless it is absolutely necessary. That is not something you don't be open about that, man. What you do to get off is supposed to be a closed door thing that you don't share with people that don't want to hear it. Hello, emergency alert system. Can non-custodial parents please stop taking their kids and not returning them to the custodial parent? You're making things worse for yourselves. You're not helping your situation. At least I hope that's what it is. My phone's on the other side of the room. I would hope that no kids are ever taken for any reason. But the world sucks, so... Oh, why not? I love girls who are sharp-tongued like that. I totally get off on the abuse. Setsu, I want to punch you. But I'm not going to. Because, one, you're fictional and that would damage my TV and or computer screen, because you're currently on both of those at the moment. Ugh. But two, you'd like it. And I don't want to do anything that you would like. I don't like you. Twisted bastard. The woman was crouched in the corner of the ship, protecting herself like a cornered kitten. Hey, don't hunch down over there. Why not? What does it matter to you what I do? Crouching like that will make you airsick. I don't know if I said this the first time in the other version of this route from her perspective, but yeah, the fact that it's a tiny ship makes you more likely to get airsick. It's actually the opposite. Airsick? Me? Ha! I would never get airsick on such a tiny ship as this. Now go away and leave... The woman suddenly leaned against the wall. She must have had a massive wave of nausea. Come on, I'll take you somewhere with less turbulence. I grabbed her arm, realizing she could no longer hide her airsickness. The woman meekly followed. The arm I so thoughtlessly snatched was shockingly thin. I held my breath. Are all women like this, or was it just her? Everybody's different, man. What? Nothing. She's been eating meals, if you could call them that. But compared to starving yourself, meals could mean anything. It might be wrong to judge her based on her aggressiveness alone.
Natsuhiko-san, 優しい。あ、もしかして俺の言うこと気にしました？
Whoa, Natsuhiko the gentleman. Wasn't that just so considerate? Oh, don't tell me that what I said yesterday bothered you. Was that it? I didn't want to puke in my ship. That's all. I would never be so crass as to vomit. Uh-huh. First off, vomiting has nothing to do with being crass or not. It is a biological function. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. There's very little you can do to stop it after you hit the point of no return. Second, you're pale as a sheet. Who would look all rosy and healthy when they are forced to spend time with a brute like you? Oh, brute. Man, that's got a nice ring to it. Setsu, go to your corner. Go to your corner. I'm flying the ship now. You're going in timeout. Fuck off. Wait, that came out wrong. Go stand on the roof. And hope I don't do a flip. But we've almost reached our destination. Fine. You can keep flying. But know that I will handle your punishment. You'll be in timeout for a very long time. The real punishment is that I'm going to burn all of his fucking porn. Our destination was the sky above a large city. Even from this altitude, we could hear gunshots and explosions as if they were right near us. Wait, this is a city. Why did they choose such a populous area to have a battle? War happens where people are. It's that simple. What? The aggressor is attacking from the air. They have fighter aircraft. A larger nation, perhaps.
Natsuhiko-san, 敵さんはユイがシローの軍のようですよ。
Hey, Natsuhiko, it looks like the enemy out there is Shiro Yuiga's personal army.
最近戦争請負なんかもやってるみたいですから、これもその一環でしょうね。
I hear he'd started contracting out his forces, so this is probably one of their new gigs. Huh?
ちょっとお姫様、何する気？
Huh? Easy there, Miss Princess. What exactly do you think you're doing? The explosion stopped.
貴様、結界を張ったのか。町全体に。
You just set up an entire barrier, didn't you? Around the entire town.
マジで
What? Seriously? No way.
争い一つを止めたところで、ここを守ったところで、あの戦闘機が標的を変えるだけだ。
Stopping one fight means nothing. Protecting this city simply means that those aircraft will fly off and bomb a different one. Quiet. You are distracting me. Ugh. She had been airsick, crouched on the floor mere minutes ago. Before that, she'd been tossed from open sky, crying. Until recently, she'd barely eaten anything. Fine. I'll read it again. I dislike being left in the dark on subjects I must know. I also dislike being deceived. But most of all, I utterly detest war. If there is anything I can do to rid the world of those horrid gun devices, I will gladly do it. The righteousness of her declaration had impressed me. But perhaps it was not righteousness after all. In reality, it may have been simple ignorance from... In reality, it may have been simple ignorance born from a life unsullied by the horrors of war. Is this woman really going to do it? Hold on. Whoa, no pushing yourself in that condition, Miss Princess. You'll kill yourself. Come on, Natsuhiko. You tell her you gotta get her to stop, or who knows what'll happen. Can you hold that barrier for 30 minutes? Huh? What? We'll shoot down all the fighter craft. You can't be serious. That's the Shiryuiga's army out there, you know. Sure, it's not the main army, but still. Hey, you said you got off on abuse, right? Okay, we'll do it. Wait a minute, I am not keeping this barrier up for half an hour. You get 10 minutes. That is as long as I will hold it for you. Yes, ma'am. With the barrier protecting the city, the attacking army had no choice but to withdraw. Meanwhile, we managed to shoot down all the aircraft. Once finished, we figured that the army wouldn't be able to attack again, at least not for a while. Man, Miss Princess isn't waking up for nothing. Maybe she used up all her powers? Seeing her like this, you'd think she was just a normal girl. You wouldn't think she's got that super amazing barrier power. As long as we got her, we might actually be able to fight against Shiro Yuiga, I guess. Oh, but that's only if she decides to keep helping us. Given how she's utterly terrified of you, she might just try to run away someday. I, on the other hand, did not think she would attempt to flee. No, it wasn't just a vague postulation. It was almost a certainty. We'd only spent 2 weeks together. Wait. We'd only spent 2 weeks together. It wasn't like our roles had changed. We were still enemies. Even so, her tears and strong determination had to give me a clear idea of the kind of person she truly was. This woman would choose to fight, I was certain. This woman who I hadn't even called by name. I felt as though I knew her entirely, almost to an arrogant degree. Our beliefs and what we wished to protect were different. Neither our pasts nor futures would ever come to intersect again. And yet, I felt a strange sense of empathy for her, for this woman who stood opposite me. Her frail body quivering as her barrier held firm. No need to worry about running away. Still, she needs to take better care of her health. But she would never ask me for help, not even if she was standing on the brink of death. I need to think of another way. Ah, yes, robot maid. Oh, the building of the robot maid. All right. Good morning, Lady Mikoto. Your meal has been prepared. Because you do not seem completely well yet, we selected a mild plum porridge for you. Lady Mikoto. I am not repeating that story. What the? Natsuhiko, did you do something inappropriate to Miss Princess again? I'm not repeating those screams. Ouch! Damn it, that's hot. Super hot. Did she just jump scalding hot porridge on me? What did I ever do to deserve that present? Setsu, go to your fucking room, you piece of shit. What is that enormous monstrosity, and what is it doing in my room? First off, this is technically my room that I'm letting you use. Second, it's a maid robot. A maid robot?
これは人間生活で生じるすべての雑務をこなすことができる万能型。
This is a special version capable of handling any chore in a typical person's household.
それだけでなく対戦車にも対抗できるだけのコードを持ち危機を察知すれば自爆してでも主を守る。
Not only that, it's durable enough to withstand a direct hit from a tank, and is programmed to protect its master at all costs, even should that require it to self-destruct. It was a great invention, if I did say so myself. The robot took care of her needs as a woman. She wouldn't need to be scared anymore. It also has a defense feature, so there's no need for her to go using her barrier. It's sheer perfection. In other words, this will explode as well?
そうだ。威力として戦車1台なら軽く吹っ飛ばせる。
Yes. If necessary, it can explode with enough force to destroy a tank or two. More things that explode? I do not know if my heart could take having that thing near me. Hmm? You must have foisted it on me because you're tired of taking care of me yourself. Admit it. No, I didn't do that. I just, Well, I wish you didn't have to take care of me either. But that is no reason for you to send this huge, hulking, terrifying... I cannot take this a moment longer. Get out. Just get out now. Ah, darn it, she's locked herself in again. I told you to go to your room. Why did it end up like that? Why? I worked on that thing without sleeping for 2 days straight, but that woman... You took 2 whole days when we're this busy? She was scared enough of you and I bringing her food, and she was wasting her energy keeping that barrier up all the time. But with this robot, she doesn't have to see us anymore. The defense feature makes her barrier unnecessary too. Its performance and functions are all perfect, so what exactly is she displeased with? What could possibly be wrong? I really hate to give it to you straight when I can see you're trying your best.
Yeah.
Tell me. And then go to your room. You're still in trouble. The whole thing is wrong.
No.
What did you just say? Setsu just rolled his eyes, said, "Please take care of the situation properly," and went back to work. Ugh. Wait. Hey, why are you going back to work? I told you, go to your room. I don't want to look at you right now either. Go sit in horny jail. And thus I was unable to press Setsu further. Of course, nothing about the woman was resolved either. In fact, it seems like the situation had gotten worse. How long have I been going? Oh, not long. Okay. No. There we go. After much consideration, I decided to make a Hyoko robot similar to those that live on the Norn with the Espers. I didn't have a blueprint, but I'd heard about them from Ron to some extent. Basically, they were single-function companion robots. I thought it would be easy for her to get along with a robot with a familiar form, so I made a simple one that could only carry food. She judged the robot by its appearance alone. That woman doesn't understand anything. To think she'd scream like that at a robot made from the best technology has to offer. Well, that literally just happened. I am not repeating that again. Is it really that terrifying? The Hyoko-style robot was completed in about half a day. Compared to the high-performance robot I had made before, it almost felt too easy to make. Beep. I glanced over at the other robot, comparing the two. The other one is definitely better. This child's toy of a robot won't be of any use to her. But I didn't want to hear her scream every time she saw it. In fact, if possible, I never wanted to hear that again. I had made some improvements to the Hyoko robot. I installed cameras in both its eyes, gave it a portable communication device that displayed messages. With this, I could control it remotely if the situation required. If this doesn't work, we're screwed. Setsu at least seemed to know why she was so scared, but that man's currently locked in horny jail with no porn because I stole and burned all his porn. But Setsu was better at reading people than I was, I suppose. Losing to that disgusting pervert makes my blood boil. But if this doesn't work, I suppose there's nothing can do to help it. I've never been concerned about anyone else before. I gave up knowing there was nothing I could change. Still, I delivered the Hyoko to the woman. Peep, Concerned peep. Huh? What one is this? Peep! Yay! Awake! Her face appeared on the screen. Hiyoko? What is one doing here? I put a message onto the yoga's receiver. How do robots talk? I guess they're usually formal. Very happy. What is this? Words? It says, I am different from the Hyokos aboard the Norn. I was built by Master Natsuhiko. I was created to take care of you and attend to your needs. Please let me know if there is anything you require. He built you? Does that mean you're another type of device? Should I be reading this in Natsuhiko's voice since he's the one typing it? Nah, I'm not. I'm just gonna read it in my normal voice and give myself a break. Correct, I'm an android created to resemble a living creature run by an AI program. Liar. Please eat. I do not feel hungry. I was created for your sake, lady. If you do not eat, I will get in trouble. Master Natsuhiko may even deem me unnecessary and disassemble me. Are you going to blackmail me now, too? It was the first time I'd seen an expression other than fear on her face. I do not want to owe that brute any favors. I need no one to care for me. Leave. I'm sorry, I can't do that. You're obviously exhausted. I am not. I'm simply a little tired. I will feel perfectly fine once I have a little rest. I am stronger than I look. No, bitch, you're weaker. You're in the Stockholm Syndrome route. Just at least eat something. What? A person who is truly strong does... Okay, I'm not reading that as me. A person that is truly strong does not worry others. You are very weak. That is one of those. That is not how the world works. Even people that are strong, whether it be physically or emotionally, are going to end up worrying others at some point. It is inevitable. People that care about each other, when someone cares about you, they're going to worry about you at some point, no matter what. Doesn't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter how weak you are, you will be worried about. Natsuhiko, stop being a dumbass and typing shit like that. Oh, I should not have said that. It wasn't like I had spent enough time with her to determine anything like that. Even if she really was a weak person, she was still doing her best to keep it hidden from me. She was fighting desperately to protect her beliefs and dignity, even in this situation. To feel some high-minded pity or one-sided sympathy towards her would be a huge mistake. It was a bit too quiet to be called a cry, but nah. It was as if her abducted heart was giving up. She was hugging herself with both arms as if to soothe herself. Even in front of a mirror Hyoko, she detested showing any sign of weakness. It was neither persistence nor stubbornness. Shit. You are weak but very proud. If I pretended to be a Hyoko, I would neither hurt nor scare her. With reason and logic, I thought I could choose my words well and get through to her. But why? Why was it that my true feelings kept coming out instead? Please eat. More than anything, you must first regain your strength. Okay, alright, Hyoko, I will. Ow! What? Why did he have to make it this ridiculously hot? Natsuhiko, did you make that stuff as hot as lava? Or magma? Because, yeah, no, McDonald's, fucked that up and caused third-degree burns on someone once, and then has been calling that a frivolous lawsuit ever since. Despite the fact that they had coffee the temperature of magma. Glad you ate it. You had me worried for a minute. It's nothing. For little Hyoko, you certainly exaggerate a lot. Master Natsuhiko is busy with other tasks. I will see to your needs from now on. Bitch, you're the one typing into that. Please don't run away. If you try to flee, Natsuhiko will turn me into scrap parts. What? Why would I care about Hyoko or two being thrown away? That is none of my concern. Robot be sad. Please don't disassemble me. What is with that look? In the end, rather than choose a robot with a variety of features, she chose a simple one. A small robot that could only serve food. I couldn't believe it at first, but with time, as I watched her slowly open up to the yoga, I started to understand. Up until now, I'd never once made anything for another person. That was to be expected. Until now, I only cared about things like destructive power or accuracy. But not this time. This time I wanted to make what her heart most desired. A small, single-function robot that was barely worth the effort. A keen sense of satisfaction that had previously been absent had finally arrived. And back to fighting.
お姫様、一気に逃がしちゃった。結界をお願い。
Whoops, gotta wait. Miss Princess, barrier, please. Oh, perfectly done. Why did you do that? With your hands? Well, you weren't going to high-five me, and Natsuhiko wasn't going to high-five me, so... self-high-five? Cease with the empty flattery and self-congratulation and do your job, you shiftless lackwit. Don't say things like that to him. Do not feed the pervert. He's in horny jail. Stop feeding him. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to take us into the clouds. We'll use the cover to swing behind them. And as I've just mentioned, do not insult Setsu. He likes it too much. Do not feed the pervert. He can feed himself in his own time. He can pay people money to do that if he wants. I give him enough paycheck. As long as he doesn't involve me in that shit. Once we come out, drop your barrier. You cannot be serious. We could never survive an attack by that many enemies at once. Relax. I don't plan on giving them the chance to attack. Great. The neighbor's lawn is being mowed. I hope their mowers aren't being picked up. Whoa, that was some strong work, Natsuhiko. Shut up and man the secondary guns. That's it. We're going to pull back now. Keep an eye out for any pursuers. Roger. Put a barrier up just in case. Oi. Oi. Huh? We're still in combat. No dozing off. I am aware of that. Do not presume to order me around. Each time she used her barriers in tandem with us, her execution improved. The barriers repel all attacks, but there's a time limit. It's a heavy burden for her to bear, both mentally and physically. The ability to shoot down an enemy instantly was nigh indispensable. As far as technique goes, I was confident that I could beat any pilot in any military. Attack and defense, compensating for each other's strengths and weaknesses, we made gradual progress. Back to Robo-Bird. Worried Robot Bird. I'm simply tired. Did well, lady. She started requiring the yoga more frequently outside of meal times. Setsu insinuated that I was using the Hyoko to facilitate stalking her. He called me a pervert, but that could not be further from the truth. It was simply her waiter and conversation companion. I kept it switched off at all other times. Still, I can't let her find out the truth. Today was just as scary as every other time. And yet that ship flying in loops all over the place again. I still feel sick. So, she was afraid after all. And air sickness, too. Seems awful. I'll need to get some medicine. Just when she'd start opening up and being honest with me, too. But as long as she required the Hyoko, it was more desirable to maintain the status quo. Allow me to prepare some tea for you, lady. It'll help settle your stomach. Thank you. Why do people insist on making terrible things like weapons? I wish those horrid things would disappear from this world forever. If the battle's frightening you, why do you not mention it to Master Bitchface? Because there are people out there who are suffering. If I do not help them, who will? This woman needs to take better care of herself. It might be good to reduce the amount of times we go into battle. But even if I did, she'd probably still complain about why we aren't going as often. It was aggravating for things to not go smoothly. I tried to hide my frustrations with the robotic facade. Okay, don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion again. I'm not going to read this bird as exactly as written. I'm pretty sure I did that last time. It is a crime for someone with the power and ability to sit around doing nothing. This is something only I can do. Therefore, I must. Your barrier power seems very important to you, lady. Convincing you to stop is very difficult. That it is, but of everyone here, only you are kind enough to actually be concerned for me. Thank you. Oh well, besides, even if I did not mind airing my concern and complaints to that man, I doubt he would bother to listen. Why do you think that? Just look at him. I've never seen such a stern and stony face. Maybe it's just because he spends all his time tinkering with devices. Perhaps he himself is just another fancy device. Huh? Not only that, when he speaks to me, he only refers to me as woman, or you, or nothing at all. I have a name, and he would do well to use it. But still, I didn't know what to call her. No, she does have one name, but... Have you not done the same? I cannot recall a time when you've referred to Master by his name.
私はいいのよ。
Well, in my case, it's different. No, it's not. I wanted to snap back at her, but I stopped myself just in time. It is, in fact, different. It is different by a lot. Oh dear. Where's that psychology book I had? I think I'm fucking things up horribly.
あの男、私に命令しかしない。そんな奴の名前、呼んでやる義理はないわ。
All he ever does is make demands of me. I have no obligation to refer to a man like that by name. Also, he fucking kidnapped me. Then she spoke in a small voice, like a whisper. The robot couldn't pick it up, so I didn't hear what she said. I assumed everything would be fine once she recovered, but that didn't seem to be the case. What's worrying you, lady? You seem to be deep in thought.
わけのわからないことは嫌いなの。
Yes, it irritates me that there are important things I do not yet understand. I understand less about you.
どこがよ。
What about me is so hard to understand? Your unpredictable mood swings, angry one moment, bawling the next. You finally deign to eat, yet nitpick the dishes you are served. Thought you were a well-bred lady of delicate manners at first, but now... Natsuhiko is dropping a lot of the facade here. I should have read that as him. What? The Yoko fled the room as if to escape from the fist shook in its direction. It's like... Based on that conversation, I guess she still wants me to call her by name. It wasn't such a big deal. Names are used to identify individuals. They're merely symbols. But seem too soon somehow.
みこと
ああ、夏彦さん、ロンさんが船の女の子に手料理作ってもらったって自慢してくる。
Man, Natsuhiko, Ron's bragging about how one of the girls on the ship made him food.
でもめちゃくちゃまずいから捨てたって。俺も可愛い女の子に体内からいじめられたい。
But he threw it away because it tasted awful. I want a cute girl to terrorize my insides too, man. Setsu, go to your room and stop talking to Ron.
あの船では交代制で能力者同士が食事を作っている。女の手料理というのは何の特別な意味もなく、ただのルーチンワークだ。
On that ship, the espers take turns cooking meals. A girl cooking is just routine work. It doesn't mean anything special.
あ、そういやそんなことロンさんも言ってました。早とちりしちゃった。
Oh yeah, Ron said as much. I forgot. Guess I got ahead of myself.
あれ、なんで銃構えてんですか？
What? Do you have your gun right now?
これもルーチンワーク。
This is also routine work.
いやいやいや。
No. God!
うわー
おい、起きろ。
Hey, wake up. Hmm.
おい、
Hey. Ah!
なんでいるのよ。近寄らないでって言ったでしょ。
What are you doing in here? I told you to stay away from me.
外に行くぞ。ついてこい。
We're going outside. Come on.
外っていきなり何なのよ。また戦場に行くの。
Outside? Why all of a sudden? Is there another battle?
違う。
No.
じゃあどこに行くのよ。
Then where are we going?
二人で行くの。
Is it just the two of us? Yes?
嫌よ、絶対嫌。
No, never. That is out of the question.
おい、どうし...
That one's what's in Mikoto's head. They didn't mean to put that. It's like, hey, what? She hugged the little robot that was sleeping beside her. Beep.
ちょっとひよこ、私のこと助けなさいよ。
What are you doing, silly little Hyoko? Get over here and help me. Beep.
いいじゃないわよ。こんな時だけだんまりなの。この横暴な主人、どうにかしなさいよ。
Cease your peeping. Why are you not speaking properly like you usually do? Anyway, hurry up and do something about your tyrant of a master.
俺がいつ横暴を働いた?
When have I ever acted like a tyrant?
今よ、絶対行かないから。
Right now, you cannot make me go anywhere.
いいのか? 俺は能力者たちを攻撃しに行くんだが。
Are you sure you don't want to? I'm on my way to stage an attack on the Espers.
そんなことさせるわけないでしょ。
I will allow you to do no such thing.
だったらついてこい。
Then perhaps you should come with me. Still holding the Hyoko in her arms, she reluctantly got out of the bed. I could not operate the Hyoko while she was watching, so I told her to leave it, but as I suspected, she wouldn't listen. Plane ride, birdie on a plane ride.
あなたは武器とか持ってないの？あの男なんとかしてよ。
Hyoko, do you have a weapons cache available? Could you maybe attack that fiendish brute you call a master for me? You didn't want weapons? So I was built with no weapons.
主人様の前ではおとなしくしてるのね。
Oh, I see. You're going to be a well-behaved little device while he is
あ
watching.
なたのために作られたよ。肝心な時に守ってくれないんだから。
Built for my sake? That is rich. If you were, you would be helping me right now. I secretly sent a message using a communication device hidden in my pocket so that she couldn't see it. Please do not worry. Don't worry, lady. Natsuhiko will do nothing to harm you.
してるじゃない。私を脅してるでしょ。
He already is. Did you not just hear him threaten the lives of me and my friends?
また黙るの？
Gah.
いいわよ。
Silent treatment again? Oh, enough of you.
船を攻撃するって本気なの？
Are you truly going to attack the ship?
いいや、
No.
は？
Huh?
そうまで言わなくては貴様は来ないだろう。
But apparently nothing short of threatening with that would have convinced you to join me.
本当に腹立たしい男ね。あ、もう 嘘までついて私をどこに連れて行こうというの？
You manipulative, insufferable barbarian. Oh, whatever. Where is it you felt you had to lie to take
お
me?
となしくしていろ。また酔うぞ。
Be still, you'll get airsick again. uh...
だから言っただろ。おとなしくしていなければ酔うと。
I warned you, just sit still or you'll make it worse.
なんでもないわよ。構わないで。
I'm fine, this is nothing. Leave me be.
どこまでも強情な女だな。ほら、これを飲め。
Geez, you could probably outstep in a boulder, woman. Here. Drink this. I handed over a flask I'd prepared beforehand. In the flask was a ginger peppermint tea. It was something that I had had the Hyoko bring to her each time she returned from battle. She's finally able to accept the tea from me without needing the Hyoko as a middleman.
こっちに来い。
Come up here.
いちいち警戒するな。何もしない。星を見るだけだ。
Stop being so skittish. I'm not going to do anything to you. We're just going to look at the stars.
星？
The stars?
今夜の満月だ。どう？周りの星が霞むほど美しいだろう。
Tonight is a full moon. Well, doesn't its brightness and beauty make the stars around it pale in comparison? Yeah, it's true.
こんなに空高く飛んでも月にはまだ届かないのね。
Even flying this high in the sky, it does not seem like we are anywhere close to it.
当たり前だ。40万キロ先にあるんだぞ。
Of course not. It's almost 250,000 miles away.
40万キロ？
250,000?
アメリカには2週間足らずで着くと聞いたわ。月はどのくらいかかるの？
It supposedly takes a little over 2 weeks to reach America. How long will it take for a person to arrive at the moon?
聞いてどうする？
Why do you want to know?
行けたら楽しそうじゃない。
Because going there is an entertaining thought.
女でそんなことを言う奴がいるとは思わなかった。
Huh. Never thought I'd hear a woman like you say anything like that.
私は無知が嫌いなの。行ったことがない場所にはできるだけたくさん行きたいわ。
I dislike being ignorant about things. Someday I want to visit as many new places as I possibly can.
真相の令状とは思えない言葉だな。
That hardly sounds like the thought a sheltered little heiress would have.
おあいにくさま。私はそんなに上品な人間じゃない。
Well, excuse me. I apologize for not being as refined a person as you took me for.
子供の頃は家の中に閉じこもっているのが嫌でよく逃げ出していたもの。
I could not tolerate being cooped up inside the house as a child. I took every opportunity I could to sneak outside. Is that so?
今は違うけど。
I have long since grown out of that, of course.
なるんだったら月には行けそうね。
Perhaps the Norn could take us to the moon.
行く気があるなら急ぐことだ。月は1年で 3.8 センチずつ離れている。
If you want to go, I'd do it quickly. The moon retreats 3.8 centimeters further from the Earth with each passing year.
え？1年で 3.8 センチずつには10年経っても40センチも離れないじゃない。
It does? Wait, at only 3.8 centimeters a year, it would still barely be a meter further than after an entire decade. I mean, 10 years wouldn't be a big deal, but what about 100 years or 1,000? As long as the reset continues to be done, there will be no scientific advancements. Regulations around astronautics are especially strict. Dark feeling crept up inside me. I answered her question, hoping to direct attention away from it.
月に行くには相当の研究と時間が必要だ。簡単な話ではない。
Going to the moon is not an easy task. It requires extensive research and lots of time.
そうなの？
Oh,
発射のためのシャトルや重力に耐えうる装甲と構造、その前に宇宙についての研究も必要だ。
something to escape the pull of gravity, a cockpit that can take pressure changes, and just a ton more study and experimentation about space itself.
難しいことばかりね。今からやったら私のひ孫くらいはいける？
That sounds like quite the laundry list of challenges. If we started now, would my great-grandchildren be able to go?
ひ孫でも無理ならひひ孫？
Or perhaps my great-great-grandchildren?
どうだろう。それは俺にも考えたこともなかった。
Who knows? I certainly can't tell you for certain. I never gave it much serious thought myself, to be honest.
何にせよ気が遠くなるような話ね。でもできないことじゃないんでしょ？球形の物体が飛んでるくらいだし。
Whatever the case, it will be a daunting task, but it's not impossible, correct? You're already having a floating sphere of a ship.
ああ、研究を積み重ねていけばいつかは行ける。
No, it isn't. With enough research, humanity will one day be able to go to the moon. In fact, in the far, far past, they definitely did already.
その研究ってあなたはやってるの？
Are you doing that sort of
今は
research?
時間がないからやっていない。ユイがシロを倒すことの方が先決だ。
I don't have the time for it now, so no. Destroying Shiro Yuiga takes precedence.
そう。戦ったり武器を作ったりするより月の研究の方がよっぽど良さそうなのね。
Oh, researching traveling to the moon seems like a far more rewarding thing than spending time on making weapons and going to war.
人生無駄にしてるんじゃない？
You certain you are not wasting your life?
俺もそう思う。
I may be.
気が遠くなるほどの歳月がかかる。
It's a feat that will require an overwhelming amount of time and effort.
研究していくにつれ新しい事実を発見する。発見は感動を生む。
But the more research is done, the more new truths and facts will be discovered. Those discoveries birth further curiosity.
感動は科学者の原動力になる。そして
Curiosity is the fuel that drives scientists. It's the stuff that makes dreams become reality.
ひよこのことありがとう。
Thank you for the Hyoko.
気に入ったか。
Do you like it?
え
Yeah.
顔が赤いぞ。
Your face is turning red. Huh?
風邪か。
Are you getting sick?
知らない。気安く触らないで。
I neither know nor care. Do not touch me.
そうはいかない。これからの戦局はお前の体調に関わってくるからな。
That attitude isn't going to fly. My battles rely on your physical well-being.
こんなところでくたばってもらっては困る。
I cannot afford to have you collapsing into a sick heap.
分かってるわよ。
I am aware of that.
無理をするな。何かあれば俺に言え。
Good. Don't push yourself. If there's anything you need, tell me immediately.
だったら私をみんなのところに返して。
In that case, I want you to send me back to my friends right
それ
now.
以外だ。
Other than that. I'm not repeating this. This literally just happened.
たた
Wasting my life, huh? I was happy to hear her say that. Of course, she didn't say it to please me. Still, I was happy all the same. She said that I was wasting my life. Why does that make me happy? Wouldn't that usually make someone more angry? I could hear the gentle pitter-patter of falling rain. The beautiful moon had hung in a clear sky only moments before. What a fickle night. That reminds me, I left my tools outside. I should go get them. Oh. A rain effect with the forest. I haven't seen that before. It was raining harder than I expected. The barrage of droplets with nowhere else to go formed puddles on the ground. My motivation instantly vanished. For a moment I considered leaving the tools as they were, but ultimately I decided to do my future self a favor. The rain made me feel sluggish. I treaded onward, regretting that I hadn't at least taken off my coat. The tools were where I had remembered. Fed up, I took them in my hands. Cold metal, the cumbersome weight of your own body, heavy enough to make your knees buckle. Sensation brought back a memory of the past. That's right, that night it was raining just like this. Why is it you can never forget the memories that you want to forget the most? They were akin to pumice. Floating rocks, countless memories sank deep into the fountain of my mind. But only one of them stayed afloat. An eyesore of a memory. That memory was of my first encounter with Ron Muraboshi. Oh boy. "8 years ago." At last I'd run out of strength and collapsed into a pool of muddy water. Some mud in my mouth, and I realized for the first time how bitter it tasted. It should have gone smoother. I made all the preparations necessary to escape the island I was born and raised on. I had a perfect plan for the day of my escape. No one saw what I was doing. I didn't even tell Masamune. Despite all of this, my plan failed. No, I'd managed to get off the island, so it wasn't accurate to call it a failure. But if I die here, it's no different than if I failed. The islanders discovered my plans. A skilled pursuer chased me down. A bullet pierced clean through my leg. My leg went numb as if it never existed. Only my right hand, the one holding the gun, had any feeling left in it. My heart, once so full of anger, was now like a furnace that had lost its flame, unable to create, void of any meaning, any purpose. Guess I'm done for. It wasn't because I'd lost too much blood, or because I was injured. It was because I'd found my limit. I fought back against the pursuers who fired at me. I'd made myself a proper gun, even practiced shooting. However, my bullets never found their mark. Partly to blame was my lack of skill, but more than anything, I lacked the resolve. I recognized who my pursuer was. The shock of being shot by them, the despair of having to kill them, it hit me all at once and I couldn't do anything. I'd run simulations over and over again, prepared for any and every eventuality, or so I thought. In the end, it was hopeless. I couldn't do anything by myself. That reality was about to take me to my grave. Then I heard footsteps. A pursuer, perhaps. I had to steel myself. I had to lift my gun and shoot my enemy. But what was the point of fighting back now? Everything was for naught, wasn't it? Rather than subject myself to an ugly death, accepting death with grace might save what little pride I had left. Above all else, it would probably end in an instant. The chilling rain, the pain, the suffering, all of it would surely come to an end. That wouldn't be so bad. I sat up like a coiled spring, clutching my gun.
あれ生きてたね
Huh, you were alive after all. Strange. Huh? Who's this guy? The pursuer? No, there was no one like this on the island. I can't imagine that they'd use outsiders just to track down one
何
person.
か面白いもの持ってるねそれ何
You've got something pretty interesting there. What is it?
人殺しの道具だ。
I keep almost going to...
俺が人差し指を動かせばお前は即死する。
I keep almost going to Setsu when I try to do Ron. I suppose it is baby Ron, but still. It's a tool for killing people. If I move my index finger, he'll die instantly.
すごいね
Wow, that's cool. The man remained unfazed and inched closer. Maybe he didn't believe me.
お前は何者だ。島から雇われた人間か。
Who are you? Were you hired by the island?
何者かって言われても普通に家に帰る途中なんだけど
Who am I? I'm just making my way back home.
ひどい怪我だね誰かにやられたの
That's a pretty nasty wound you got there. Someone get you?
姉に
My abusive bitch of a sister.
Huh?
Hmm?
やられ
My sister did it. And that's where my memory ends. I collapsed. Ron took me to the hospital where I was nursed back to health. Why did he do that? I'm still not sure. The gun I was holding must have intrigued him in some way.
銃っていうのが君を瀕死に追いやったんだね
Huh, so that gun thing was what almost killed you.
聞いたことがあるよ今悪い人たちの間で大人気なやつだよね
I've heard of those things too. They're all the rage with bad guys these days. All the rage. Guns should be regulated by the world. I guess Shioryu really is distributing
俺
them.
も興味あったんだけどすっごく高いみたいでさちょっと借りるよ
I always wanted to try one out, but they're just too expensive. Let me borrow this one real quick.
どうやって使うのこれ
How do you use this thing? I taught him how to use a gun. Not as thanks for saving me, but because I felt that this man's interest in my gun would eventually come to save my life.
なるほどね。
Ah, uh-huh. Man stared at the gun with a playful
それで
expression.
どういうつもりなのかな。
So what's your deal?
何がだ。
What are you talking about?
俺に銃を持たせて、しかも使い方まで教えてさ。
Giving me a gun and teaching me how to use it? I can kill people with this, right?
自分が殺されるって思わないの？
Aren't you worried I'll kill you?
あ、弾が入ってないとか？
Oh, is it not loaded?
いや、一発だけ残っているはずだ。
No, there should be one shot left.
そっか。じゃあ、質問の答えを教えて。
Cool. Then answer my question.
少し使い方を習ったくらいですぐに銃を使えない。どんなに狙いを定めても外れるだろう。
Just because you learned how to use it doesn't mean you actually can. Your aim will still need some work.
なるほど。
I see.
その銃は特殊だ。銃弾の補充も俺にしかできない。売っても金にならないだろう。
That gun is special. Only I can reload it. Selling it won't make you any money.
そう。あ、そういえば話の途中だったね。リセットだっけ？それを止めるために脱出して追っ手に撃たれたと。
Right. Oh, we were talking about stuff, right? Weren't we? Reset, was it? You tried to stop it, escaped, and then were stopped by someone after you?
お前は信じるのか？
Do you believe my story?
さあ、どうだろう。俺には関係のない話だから。
How should I know? It's got nothing to do with me.
勝手に記憶をいじられ、思想を変えられるんだぞ。恐ろしく思わないのか？
Your memory is being tampered with without your permission. Your very thoughts are altered inside your own mind. Doesn't that scare you?
だって死ぬわけじゃないんでしょ？俺には忘れて困ることもないし。
No. I mean, it's not like they're killing you. Forget stuff doesn't bother me.
君も俺のことをそういう人間だって分かってるから話したんでしょ？リセットなんてそんな重大なこと。
Besides, you only started talking about this reset shit because you knew what kind of guy I am, right?
一人で抱えているのが辛くて、でも言える相手がいないから、俺みたいな町のチンピラに話したんだ。
You couldn't bear to do it all alone, but you've got no one to talk to. That's why you're talking to a lowlife like me.
信じようが信じまいが関係ない。ただ話したくて話した。違う？
You didn't care whether I believed you or not. You just wanted to talk. Am I wrong? He wasn't wrong. I only talked to him because I thought no one would believe such an outrageous story. And even if he did believe me, I highly doubt he could do anything about it, much less care to. I didn't want him to believe me, I just wanted someone to listen. I was so unstable, so desperate for support that I clung on to this stranger of a man who really wasn't all that much older than me.
大変だったね。家族にまで殺されかけて。そんな思いをしてでも未来を守りたかったんだ。
Sounds rough, getting almost killed by your own family and all that. But you still want to protect the future? So brave, how noble of you. Ron spoke in a voice basically devoid of emotion. This man could understand people's feelings, all while acting as though he didn't care one iota about others.
俺が銃を持ってても平気
Fucking
なのは
psychopath.
銃弾が一発だけだからじゃない。別に殺されてもいいと思ってるからだ。
You don't care about me holding the gun, not just because there's only one bullet in it. It's because you don't care if I kill
思っ
you.
てない。
That's not true.
そうかな。
You sure about that?
俺は諦めない。世界を止める。リセットはさせない。
I won't give up. I must stop the world. I must prevent the
ど
reset.
んな手を使ってでも誰を犠牲にしようとも
I have to protect the future no matter what it takes. No matter who I have to sacrifice.
そう。
Alright.
じゃあさ、俺のこと雇ってよ。手伝ってあげるからさ。
How about this? You hire me and I'll help you.
断る。お前のような得体の知れない人間の手なんか借りない。
No thanks. I won't rely on help of a complete stranger like you.
ちゃんと名前は名乗っただろ？室星ロンって。
But we're not strangers. I told you my name. It's Ron Muraboshi.
名前だけで全てがわかるか。
And you expect me to know everything about you?
ああ、そうだな。 じゃあ、賭けをし
Guess
よう。
not. Let's make a wager
俺が
then.
あのドアの鍵穴に銃弾を撃ち込めるかどうか。ダメだったらこの話はなし。
We'll bet on whether or not I can shoot a bullet through the keyhole over there. If I can't do it, then we'll drop the whole thing. The door Ron pointed to is quite a distance away. No matter how skilled he may have been, it would have been near impossible without using a
いい
sight.
だろ、やってみる。
Okay, try it. At that point, I had already lost the wager. However unlikely it might have been, I should not have taken that bet. Scientists are only supposed to create the things that they can take responsibility for. To give my gun to another person was essentially violating that taboo.
あ、そうそう。言い忘れてたんだけど、俺、殺し屋やってるんだ。
Ah, that's right. I forgot to say, but I'm a hired killer.
そっち方面なら結構役に立つと思うから、期待しててね。
If it's anything up my alley, you can bet I'll be
そ
useful.
れじゃ、俺の分の銃、作ってくれる？
So then, can you make me my own gun? These fuckers. You know, with that flashback done, I think it's a good point to stop. In fact, I'm going to save the game. Because I may or may not want to do other things. But I will see you all next time, fellow dragons. Bye!